Is this audio? Is this audio? And that is a heck of a lag. Is this audio? That's a heck of a lag. Oh snap. Awesome. Hey, how is the music too loud? Awesome. Welcome. Connery, thanks for joining. Who else is there? Showing that I got two concurrent viewers. Somebody's hiding. We'll get started here shortly. Just want to give a couple minutes in case someone's planning on joining us. Connery, are you okay, good. Um yeah, I'm interested to see what Ollie can do as well. I've not used it before, so this is me jumping into it as a complete noob. So I'm a little nervous. I'm hoping that I don't, I'm hoping that it's not just me struggling the entire time and then nobody gets anything out of it. I'm hoping that I can show people what OllieWP can do. So clearly that's what you're here for. So hopefully I can deliver that for you and other people. Um, do you? What are your feelings towards full site editing experience in general? Do you build websites with FSE? Do you use some other sort of block theme like Cadence or something like that, or are you completely new to all this? I am back, Visual Grid, and I think I'm glad to be back. I'll be honest, man. Ireland was pretty awesome. It was kind of hard to get on that airplane and come back here. Okay, so you're a brick slash etch user. Oh, you got it early too. Okay, I didn't get it. I got it just early enough that I got a really good deal that I'm very very happy with. But I was not brave enough to get it before I could actually see it in action because I wasn't really familiar with Kevin um, before Etch, so I wasn't one of those guys who just absolutely loved frames and absolutely loved automatic CSS and was ready to just buy anything that Kevin put out. But pretty much as soon as I started watching Kevin actually use Etch, I was like, okay, I need to get in on, I need to get in on this, and I'm glad I did. I got in fairly early, got a pretty good deal on it, so I'm pretty happy with that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody. So my name is James. On this channel, I like to share tips, tricks, tutorials. I like to do reaction videos, and I also like to just stream myself struggling. And that's what we're going to be doing today. If you've seen my videos in the past, you're used to watching me build stuff using something called Etch, which is what me and Connery were just talking about. But today is going to be a little different. I've said before that I'm trying to break out and do things besides just Etch. This is not an Etch channel. Etch is just what I'm excited about at the moment. So, but I want to do other stuff, and so that's what we're doing today. We're going to be building a landing page using something called Ollie. Ollie is a, I'm not 100% sure how to describe it yet. I've purposely not done anything with it before this video, so you guys get to watch me approach it as a complete noob, as maybe some of you are a complete noob to Ollie, so you can see, you know, what it's like to try to learn how to use it. We're going to see, you know, how user-friendly is it for someone like me who's never used it before, to just jump in and build with it. So that's what we're doing today. Ollie is you can find it at OllieWP.com. And what was I saying? Oh, and it's built by a guy named Mike McCallister. You can find him on Twitter, and it's a good thing. It's a good person to follow because he's talking about Ollie a lot. So if you're interested at all in Ollie, you know, you can find out a lot of information just by following him on Twitter. He's also very involved in just WordPress as a whole. So if you're wanting to get more into the WordPress community, he's definitely one of the guys that you want to be following, Mike McCallister. Anywho, all I've done is I purchased Ollie Pro, and there's 3 things you can download. 2 of them I believe are free. You can download the theme, Ollie theme, for free, which I've done that and I've installed it. They have something called the menu builder, which you can download for free, which I downloaded it. I have not installed it on my website yet. And then there's of course the Pro plugin, which I have purchased and downloaded and installed. And that brings me to this. So I haven't done anything. As you can see, I saw this pop up and I was like, I better stop here so folks can see this from the very beginning. All I did was install the plugin and activate it, and then I got this little pop-up here. So we're going to go through this. I'd normally skip these things, but for this one I'm going to go ahead and click on that button and kind of see what their onboarding process is like. Connery says they're new to WordPress. I'm really not good at coding, so it takes a hell of a long time to build sites within even bricks, which scares me when it comes to Etch. Yeah, I feel that. I'm going to say it will probably behoove you to put the effort into learning front-end code rather than trying to jump it all in on some kind of builder like Ollie or Elementor or whatever. And I also will say that I don't think, because when you say code, I mean, there's HTML and CSS. There's a lot of debate about whether that's technically coding or not. Whether or not you think it's coding, it's not super difficult to get yourself familiar with HTML and CSS. JavaScript is different. JavaScript can be quite a bit more difficult. But the great thing about that is we have AI. And you wouldn't believe the number of things I've done JavaScript related with AI. Just by telling AI what I want to do, and it gives me the JavaScript, I copy and paste, and it works. So I would say, especially since you spent the money on Etch, I would say put some effort into just trying to learn front-end HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript. But it also doesn't help to be familiar with tools like this. I've passed up on a number of jobs. I've seen folks posting jobs for WordPress developer, and then you read the description and it says that they want you to be really experienced with FSE, full site editing. And I'm like, well, I'm not. So I pass up on those job opportunities. So even if you yourself are mostly going to use one thing, it doesn't hurt to have experience in other things, especially full site editing, which is right now, that's like the default WordPress experience. So as a WordPress developer, it probably would be a good idea for us to at least be familiar with it. So that's my advice. I would say you're just going to probably put out better websites if you can get pretty good with HTML and CSS and rely on AI for JavaScript. But back to Ollie. So um, I will say I do have some concerns about what we're about to do. Those concerns being, you know, before Etch, I was all in on a page builder. I used one called Themify. And as far as page builders go, I'm a huge fan of Themify. I used it for years. They commissioned me to make a bunch of YouTube videos for the YouTube channel. So if you're wondering where this amazing voice, you've heard it before, maybe you saw it in a Themify YouTube video, who knows? But I'm a big fan of Themify as far as page builders go. But one thing I noticed, you know, Themify has a bunch of preset templates and parts that you can drop onto your page, and it seems like a good idea at first. It seems like it's going to save you a lot of time. Drop in a hero section, drop in like a services section, you know, social proof section, whatever. But what I've noticed is that, you know, if you're okay with your website looking exactly like their template, sure, you just saved yourself a bunch of time. But if you're working on a design and you're trying to make your website look like a specific design that your designer gave you, you're really not saving a ton of time. I mean, you'll drop a services section on your website, and sure, it's 3 columns, and that's about where the similarities end. And so you're still spending a ton of time customizing it, making sure the spacing is right, get the right images, get the right font, get the right colors. And I actually stopped doing that, and I just started building everything from scratch. And I found that to actually be faster than trying to start with their template and modifying it. And I feel like I'm going to run into the same issue because as far as I know, I think Ollie is mostly just a giant library of what WordPress calls patterns. Patterns are basically blocks or group of blocks. You might call them like components, where you just drop it on your website. For example, you could drop a hero section. Boom, now you have a hero section. And then you modify it. You could drop in a services section, things like that. I think that's what Ollie is. And if that's true, I'm worried that I'm going to run into the same issue where I'll drop that on the page, but then I'm still going to be spending a whole bunch of time customizing it to look like my design that I might as well have just built it from scratch anyways. So we'll see if that's true. I'm also just weary of using full site editing because I don't really like Gutenberg, and so I've never built a site using FSC before. So for those of you who've told me you like watching my videos because you like watching me struggle, I think you're about to have a good time. But all that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and jump in. Oh, let's go. View Ollie dashboard. Let's see what that looks like. And maybe, you know what? We don't need to see my dumb face so much, right? Let's shrink that down a bit. All right, so this is apparently the Ollie dashboard. Looks very much like the default FSE, like when you click on editor. In fact, I want to go back to the admin and see what we got here. If I go to appearance, yeah, so we have editor and we have Ollie. So here's what the editor looks like. This is default WordPress. And then if we go to Ollie instead, looks very similar. And I actually remember Mike posting on Twitter recently, basically like bragging about this. Like they purposely, you know, are trying to make this look like default WordPress so it's not jarring. You know, it doesn't feel like you're going into a third-party app environment. It feels like this is still just native WordPress. So kudos to them because this does very much look like the full site editing experience. We got Ollie Pro dashboard, which I have Ollie Pro. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm not sure. This looks like a website. Hey, Ruben, thanks for joining. Sign into Ollie Pro. I have to sign in. Get Ollie Pro now. I already have it. I don't think I need to sign in. I think that's just to go to my account. Getting started. Okay, activated. Already did that. Wouldn't be on this page if I hadn't. Learn about the site wizard. Maybe later. Learn about starter sites. Kevin Geary, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining, Kevin. Yeah, I'm interested to see what Ollie's up to as well. It's all I've been hearing about on Twitter. Like, everybody's talking about Ollie, especially their menu builder, which I said that I didn't prepare for this video. I lied a little bit. I did watch Mike's like 12-minute video about the menu builder specifically. I'm a little not crazy excited about building a menu because it's still basically just using the block editor like default FSC menus. And it looks like it's basically just that with a bunch of pre-built patterns and a couple extra little features. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not excited about it. Ollie Theme Studio, blah blah blah. I think, okay, let's see what their site wizard looks like. I'm assuming it's going to ask me to pick colors and stuff. So if you don't know, I forgot to mention, this is what we're building today. I'm going to rebuild WordPress.org's website just because why not? It looks like a fairly simple website. I did this with Etch a few weeks ago, and I think I did a really good job. My Etch version ended up looking very, very almost pixel perfect, I believe. Kevin thinks the menu designer is a big miss. Yeah, I don't, it depends on, because I kind of get what Mike is trying to do. He's really leaning into default WordPress. He's not trying to create a whole new experience. He's trying to lean into FSE and just make it better. And I think he's probably doing that. And I think, you know, what can you do? I mean, how much can you really do when you're working with full site editor, you know? So I don't know. I think I'll hold off my full judgment until I've actually built a menu with it. But I think I kind of tend to agree with you that it's not going to be a great experience, but I think it's probably about as good of an experience as you're going to get working within FSE. That's just my opinion, but this is what we're going to rebuild. So first of all, I just want to say whoever designed this website, I would like to punch them in the throat, because what is up with this menu? Everything else on the website falls within this container, and then this dumb header is full width, and I don't understand it. It drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts. So I just want to get that out there, put that out in the universe. Somebody please, if you know somebody at WordPress, and by that I mean Matt Mullenweg, can you please tell them to fix this header situation, because it's driving me bonkers. But we're going to try to rebuild this today using Ollie. So back to the wizard. What do we got? We got the menu designer. I don't think I've installed that yet, so it's going to do that for me, so that's nice. Block visibility, control where your blocks appear and who can see them. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Icon block, yeah. Is that the new one that they've been bragging about, or is this one that Mike made himself? If anybody knows, let me know. I've seen somebody bragging recently about like a new icon block coming to Gutenberg. Advanced query loop, I'm not going to worry about that either, because we're just building a landing page and there's nothing to query. Also, these images here, just so you know, it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 images. It's not. It's 3 images. This top part here is 1 image, and then this is another image, and this is another image. It feels a little bit like cheating to me, but honestly, I also kind of get it. Like, what's the point of making it difficult on yourself? But that just kind of surprised me. I thought I was going to have to create some kind of crazy grid to make this happen, and then I discovered it's just 3 horizontal images stacked on top of each other. So that part will be a little easier than maybe it looks at first. Let's go ahead and continue. It's going to install this for me. All right, create pages. I already created a home page earlier, but I guess it's going to do that for me. I don't think I can choose my own page that I created. I'm not sure what this is. Are these templates? Unlock these. I have Pro, so I have to sign in even though I have it installed. Please don't spam my email. Login successful with a red background. That was an interesting design choice. All right, now I'm signed into Pro, so I should have Pro features, right? Let's go back to the wizard, start the setup wizard, install and continue. Agency. Okay, yeah. So now I should have all the Pro features available to me. Okay. Studio. Homepage. This is when, like, already I'm like none of these are going to look like my design. So what's the point, right? If I'm building a website from scratch and I have no design in mind and I'm okay with it looking like one of these things, great. Click add, update the text, done. But none of these are going to look like this. So what is even the point of browsing through all of these things? Can I just start from scratch and then look at some patterns? I feel like that's what I want to do. What's a basic? Let's just see what happens when I click this, create pages, and continue. Custom page. Okay, here we go. Now I can choose the page I created earlier. Blog page, don't care. Save and continue. Color palette. I'm gonna have to change this. Again, what's the point of picking a color palette? None of these are gonna be the color palette of the design that my designer gave me. My design is blue, and I remember doing this before, a couple different grays. Like this gray is different from this footer gray, and then there's this sort of light gray, and that's it. Blue and a few grays. And I don't even know, is this white? Yeah, this is white. And then some grays. So the color palette will be pretty darn simple. Yeah, Kevin, tell us what your issues are with the menu builder. I love a good Kevin rant, so I'm here for it. All right, so I'm just gonna pick, you know what, blue. Since we're gonna be working with blue, this actually kind of, I know I just said that none of these colors are gonna match, but this almost looks like it is the WordPress.org color scheme. That's interesting. Save and continue. What do we got? Style. I forget what fonts I used, but since I already built this website on this website, I might already have the correct fonts I need installed. So can I ignore this? Do I have to pick one of these? It appears that I have to pick one of these, so I'm not sure how to override that. I'm assuming I can override that. I'm assuming, hoping, Mr. McCallister, that what you did is whatever I choose here, you're just going to update the default full site editor typography section with these fonts, and then I can go into that section and change it to whatever font I want. I'm hoping that's what's about to happen. So I'm just going to pick, what fonts did we use? Let me, EB, Garamond, that's right, and Enter. Okay. So none of those are showing up here. So I'm just going to pick one, and hopefully I can go back and change it to whatever I want. Page layout, we'll do centered. That's kind of, I think, what we got going on here, right? We got this kind of container here, everything's centered, so we'll do that. Header with navs, header with buttons, header with banner. Do they have a banner? Nope, that's just of course they put an admin bar on their website. It's so dumb. I don't need that. But no banner, so we'll just do header with navs. Kevin, you should do a video. That'd be fun. Just the whole video, just trashing building menus in FSE. I would watch that video 5 times. I'd bring my kids in and be like, watch this. Dark or light header? Light, right? Yep, everything's pretty much light, except the footer is dark. So I wonder if I can choose a dark footer. Yes, dark footer. All right. And footer with nav columns. What does our footer look like? We got this sort of area and then 5 columns and then kind of another footer area. I guess we'll do nav columns and maybe we can edit this more later. Save and finish. My site is ready to go. All right, let's take a look. All right. Interesting color choice here. Is that accessible? I'm pretty sure my vision's fine and I'm not really liking this contrast here. Most curious how Ollie works with templates and components. Yeah. I think it's just full site editing. I think Ollie is mostly just a bunch of patterns, but I could be wrong. Um, we'll see. We'll see if it's more than that, but I get the feeling that we're basically just working in full site editor like we normally would. But then we have a whole bunch of patterns available to us and some extra little features with putting the theme together. So let's go back to the Ollie dashboard, see what we got here. We did the setup wizard. We got starter sites. I don't think we're going to mess with that. I think we did that. I think that was part of the setup wizard. Extensions. I don't think I need any of those. I don't need to worry about those. Create a child theme. I'm also not going to do that. So I think we're pretty much done with the Ollie dashboard. I think everything that we do pretty much is going to be in the regular full site editor dashboard right here, editor. So this first thing I'm going to do is go into my typography and I forget how to do this. These are a bunch of fonts, elements, font presets. I thought I already did all this. Yeah, here we go. Enter. Let's choose all those. Update. And then the other one I want was Garamond. I don't know if that's a Google font. I should already have it. Should be in here somewhere. Here we go. Garamond. Select all. Update. Okay, and then I'm just going to unselect all of these other fonts. This I think this could be approved. Mike, if you ever watch this, on that font screen, I think you should be able to skip that and not have to pick a font and not have to install fonts. Just let me skip that if I want, or let me choose fonts that I've already installed, or whatever. I don't know, but I don't, because I just didn't want to use any of those fonts that you had there for me. Okay, I think this is the last one. 000 Garamond and enter. All right, so we got our fonts, and then it's still showing a font. Get rid of that, please. What else what am I missing? Oh, Dudeberg, you never cease to disappoint me. All right, it's saved. So now we can do stuff like, let's see, what is it? Is it headings? Headings are Garamond, it looks like, and everything else is enter. Yeah. So let's go headings and choose Garamond. Am I saying that right? Anybody want to correct me? And then text, we want enter. Links, we want enter. Captions, buttons. Okay, we should be good to go there. Templates. These are all Ollie templates. As you can see, it says author Ollie, so I did not create these. These came with Ollie. I'm assuming the theme, but perhaps they came with the Pro plugin. I'm not sure. What do we got? Index template, page full with no title, page sidebar, blah, blah, blah. We got a 404 template. Okay. And then, oh, we come over here to Ollie. Oh, okay. So we have all templates, and then we have Ollie only templates, which right now it's the same since I haven't created any of my own custom templates. Should we try to get the menu out of the way first? Is that what we should do? Does WordPress consider a header a template? I thought Mike called it a template part. I don't remember how he got to the screen to create a template part though. Patterns? Template parts. Footer, header, sidebar. Okay. So at least they're not calling the header a template. I'm okay. I'll allow template part. I'll allow it. So I think we're going to click on header to edit it. And then is this, yeah, this looks like, yeah. So I do have the menu designer installed. It installed that for me. I'm not going to watch the guide again. So here's my question. How the heck do I build this menu? We have, let's turn this font thing off. We have an SVG over here. And then we just have some menu items. And then over here, we have a search and a button. So let's see here. Am I supposed to be able to pick some patterns to put in here? Let's see. Over here, I can click this to add a block. Can I add blocks over here? No. Menu. Oh, this is just the same as down here, I'm assuming. Okay. I could have sworn that he had available to him a bunch of... Oh, no menus found. Do I have to create one? Ah, okay. This is... I'm not sure what I was editing a minute ago. If I didn't have any menus created. Sure looked like there was a menu there to me. All right, let's see if there's maybe, hopefully, a pattern that looks like... Is this it? Mobile menu. I'm not trying to create a mobile menu. I want to create a regular menu. How do I create a regular menu? I literally just have to try to build it out of blocks. I want to go back. Mobile menu. Oh, that was when I clicked create new, that was specifically creating a mobile menu. Okay, how do I create a non-mobile menu? I guess this is my non-mobile menu, and I just have to try to build my menu with this. Is there an SVG block? There's an icon block. Insert custom SVG. Okay, that is mildly impressive. I'll take this. See how well this works. Where'd I go? Here it is. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. Now, if I could just get this where I want. Correct. Correct. I would like to show that comment on the screen. I don't know if I can do that in OBS Studio. Kevin says proprietary workflows that don't speak the language of web design are intensely problematic. Are you telling me that template part is not web design language? Yeah, if there was a code box, I would know what to do. What I don't know what to do is how to get rid of this. I mean, I could get rid of it. Oh, there we go. This is since day one, since the day Doodooberg was introduced as a beta plugin, whatever. This has pissed me off. The fact that these magic buttons are hidden on the screen, and you have to go on a scavenger hunt to find them. Why does this have to be hidden until I hover over it? How much sense does it make to not display something until you hover your mouse over it when you don't know where it is? And it's been 8 years and it's still like that. Nobody, am I the only one complaining about this? Not knowing where the plus sign block is until I hover over every inch of the screen and then finally it shows up? I can't be the only one complaining about that. I'm going to delete this. Okay, there we go. So now that's where it belongs. This, I think I can click this. It already says justify items left, but it's still way over here on the right, so I'm not sure what that means. Okay, this appears to be a 2-column. What am I working with here? Layout. That didn't help. Inner blocks use content width. Are we doing... Okay. This already seems more difficult than bricks. I've played with bricks a little tiny bit, and I would say I think you're correct. Okay, we are getting somewhere though. We have our icon on the left. We have some list items on the left. Now, how on earth am I going to get a button over here? Who knows? How do I add more stuff? I come over here and just click on this, add link, plus, I'm going to bring my example site over here so I can see what I'm doing. All right, first of all, really, I have to click edit. Edit page list. Oh, this is a list of pages. Okay, so probably what I should do is instead of adding custom links, if this is just going to list my pages, maybe I should just go create those pages. I already have a bunch of pages from before. I moved them all to draft. What do you guys think? Should I be doing this, or should I just create a static list of links in the block editor? I suppose this works if you for sure want every single page you ever create to be added to your menu, which I wouldn't want that. But for the purposes of this demo, it won't matter. At least this will test my theory to see if what I think is going to happen will actually happen. Now, where was I? How do I get back there? I was editing a header, right? Okay. I must not have saved my progress because, oh boy, this is not what it looked like last time I looked at it. Let's delete this again. Let's add our SVG, or icon. And then let's move this over. And what else did I do to make this work? Where's my... Did I do that? Did I do... Oh, this is already left. Oh boy. Oh, I changed this to a row. That's what I did. Okay. Getting somewhere, except these are not in the... All right. Problem number one with what I just did is that these are not in the correct order. Can I... Ooh, I can... I bet I can move these around. What? Yes. Okay. All right. That's neat. I'll give them that. That's neat. So even though it generated this menu based on the pages that I created, I can still go in and change the order. Got to give credit where it's due, even if you hate everything else about it. Extend, learn. Now what I don't know is how to make a sub item. Can I just drag it like the old school? Yeah, so just like the old school menu builder, just drag it over. Nope. Learn community about and get rid of this one. That's the correct order. Save. Hey, I mean, it's close-ish, right? It's close-ish. Just as a reminder, here's what we're trying to build. Our icon's a little big. We have a bunch of stuff we got to do, like this hover thing. I don't know how to do that. I mean, I know how to do that with CSS, but I don't know how to do it in the block editor. They all have the same gray hover effect, and I need to figure out how to get a button over here. Let's go back to the editor. Anybody saying anything in my... So why are you struggling? Oh. Thought you were talking to me for a second. If you open the structure panel, is that what this is? Makes it a little easier to add blocks where you want them. Yep. Still a terrible experience, yeah. I do agree though, this does help. If you open, yeah, if you just building a home page, I do static links. Yeah, I think after what I just did, I think you're right. I should have just created static links. It's cool though that you can delete the ones you don't want. So I don't think you could do that with classic WordPress. If you choose the option to automatically add pages to your menu, I'm not sure if you could go in and delete certain ones. So it's nice that you can go in and delete ones and rearrange them. I like that. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. If I add, I'm assuming there's a button block. Oh, what are these fancy blocks? Are these Ollie? Does anybody know if this purple stuff means that's an Ollie block? I'm going to search for it up here. Maybe it'll give me some more. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's an Ollie thing here. But I think I just want to add a button. And I want to align to the right, but I don't want it to be on the next... Bro, can you go away? I don't want it down here on the next line. Can I drag this up? I wanted it right next to the... Okay, there we go. Perfect. And then hopefully... Nope, it's already to the right. Let's see here. What style options do I have? Almost nothing, as I've come to expect with Gutenberg. Style, here's some styles. Padding, no margin. I can't mess with the margin. Can I add a custom class to this thing? Additional class. I don't know. Header button. I hate naming things. Header button. Don't care. Save. Hello? Oh, get WordPress. All right, what did I call this bad boy? Header button. Cool. That doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work. Where's that class? It's on this. The class is on this, but what I need to... Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. How do I select the parent of a thing? Why isn't the class that I added on the outermost element so that I can actually do something with it? Right? Is there... Can I... Oh, okay. So what did I add it? Oh my gosh, I added it to that. All right, let's grab this. Put it on this. And now we should be good to go. Dot header button. Margin inline. Start auto. Oh, for crying out loud. So, okay, this has to be full width. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I could just do space between if this is... Well, no, because we have 3 elements up here. We have the SVG, then we have a nav, then we have this button. So if I do space between, it's going to add space in between this SVG and the menu, and I don't want that. I agree with you. It's Amore. And maybe I don't. Maybe I should... So we got justification is flex start, or justify items left, I guess. And then, but if I try to select this and do items right, it's not working. Doesn't look like this changes. Oh, okay, that center changes, right changes. Space between does nothing for some reason. Justify items right. It's not doing anything there. Yeah, put the first 2 elements in their own group. Let's see. What is a div called in Dudeberg language? A row? Do I want to drop a row in? Or you guys said group. Do you actually mean a group? Gather blocks in a container. Maybe. Let's see. And we want it to be... Do we need it to be 2 columns? Are those flex columns, grid columns? This is where this comes in handy, I think. All right, here's my group. Oh, that actually worked. I got the icon in the group somehow, even though I was flying blind. Let's get that in there. Group. We're going to turn it into a row. Okay. Get this button out of that. Out of the group entirely, right? Or no, we want... Yeah, we want it... Get back up here. Okay. Hey! Okay, whoever's idea that was, it's Amore. You're a genius. Sometimes you hate something so much you just assume it can't do anything. The thought of putting those 2 items in their own container, which is what I would have done probably in Etch, didn't even occur to me that I could probably just do that in Gutenberg. So thank you. That was more work than it should have been, but we got there. I'm going to save this before I screw it up. Navigation, style, color, background. How do I choose hover state? Also, it needs to be full height. Yay. Typography. Overlay. That's not what I want. All right, Amore, you're up. Before I start messing around with custom CSS, how on earth do I modify hover? I'm actually going to leave this for now because this is a live stream Y'all don't want to watch me struggle for an hour trying to figure that out. We got the menu, at least the layout, where we want it. Good. No, Amore, you're supposed to know these things. You're supposed to know these things, man. What does this look like on mobile? Do I even want to know? No, I don't. I did not want to know, but I looked anyways. Let's see if we can build some stuff on the homepage here. I want to actually try to use Ollie for something here. So this is a template part. Navigation. How did we get to that area where I was able to try and pick a mobile menu? Remember that? They had a bunch of patterns for mobile menu. See if I can find that. I went to appearance, editor. I think I went to patterns, template parts, header. Oh wait, if I go back, there's a mobile menu. Okay, so if I pick one of these, is it just automatically gonna be my mobile menu? Let's find WordPress.org again. See what their menu is supposed to look like. Okay, pretty basic. It's just a list. Just a list of links with a button at the end. Do we have that in here? This looks pretty close to that. Yeah, I'm just going to pick this one, I think. It's completely static, though. Well, I just want to see if it actually does automatically make this my mobile menu. It does not. Honestly, this looks closer to what I want anyways, but how do I modify it? That's my question. I'm also curious why this isn't working. I thought you just you know what? I think I remember. Let's see if I go to header. Wasn't there an option in here to pick your mobile menu? Yeah, here we go. Mobile menu. Is that it? Yeah. Now we're getting into some actual Ollie territory here. So I think if I refresh now, we should have that mobile menu. Yep. Okay. So that's neat. And then how do I edit that? I go to back to template parts, this mobile menu template part, and it's just a bunch of blocks. So I would have to I would just have to go in here and just edit the crap out of it, which again kind of makes me think that it would probably be faster to just build it from scratch. I'm not really seeing the value of all these patterns being available to me unless I am okay with building with my website looking exactly like the pre-built patterns, which I'm not. It needs to look like the WordPress thing. Styles, background, clear. Can we add that menu? What was it? It's like a list of pages, page list. Okay. We can just do that here, right? All right. Spending more time deleting stuff I don't need than adding stuff I do need. I've been building sites for like 20 years and I can barely do it, Kevin. How do we get rid of these list thingies? let's choose our list, page list, styles, typography, dimensions, border. Doesn't appear to be an option. Is it an option up here? Page list. Is it on the individual item? Oh, these are all locked. Copy styles. So this isn't a list. Like there is a list, right? If I type list, I can click that, and then you have options here. Thought you had options. Styles, default, check, boxed, circle, default. For some reason, none doesn't seem to be an option. Am I once again just crazy? This can't be true, that that you can't just easily remove the list style from a list. That can't be true. I'm missing something. This is an 8-year-old product. The issue has to be me. I don't know what that means. No transforms. We got default, check, circle, box. Those are my only options. Is style default? I don't know what that means. Get out of here. I didn't add that class. I didn't do anything. Okay. Unless Amore helps me out here, I'm going to have to custom CSS this bad boy, I think. Also, let's get rid of this. Button width, whatever. Where's my blue color? Styles, background, blue. That's close enough. I'm trying to get rid of the freaking dots here on my list. Trying to make it list style none. And it seems like my only options for that they seem to have gone away. First of all, I had more options here, did I not? A minute ago? Oh no, that was when I was looking at the list block. I have even less options on this page list block. Oh, look at that, hover. So here I have hover options on the link, but we're going to save this. I want to go back to my header. I want to see if I'm crazy here, because it's the same block, right? It's the page list block, or no? It's a navigation. Yeah, I don't have any hover. I don't have that hover tab here like I did a second ago on the other one. Oh, bother. Let's see if what we did. Okay. Oh, so there is no list on the front end, even though they were there in the block editor. That's cool. How do I edit this? Is that just a matter of whoops. Do I just do this, and then can if I make changes here, is it going to only affect the mobile? Also, how do I make this button go away and then show up inside the menu? See, here's how I did it when I built this website in Etch. I actually put this button inside the nav, inside the UL. So it was outside the loop. So I was looping through a JSON object to get the list items. But then I put this button inside that UL, but outside of the loop of LIs. so that when the UL disappeared on mobile, the button disappeared with it. And then when you expanded it, the button was there at the end after all the links. So that's how I did it in Etch. And then of course, to get this effect, I had to make the nav 100% width so that I could put this button way over on the right. But I don't know how to get that effect with my current setup with my button way over here, other than adding two different buttons, putting one button inside here, and then using CSS to hide it on desktop and hide this one on mobile. That's just a pain. But even then, also, how do I get... Do I have any sort of width options with this bad boy? Allow to wrap multiple lines. No, do that. Dimensions, block spacing. Width, fit, grow, fixed. Stretch to fill available space. What am I selecting? The navigation? Okay, so then what if I do put buttons in here? And what if... see, it's already justified to the right. Arg. Arg. Let's see here. Let's see what we got on the front end, though, now that we did that. So we got the button over here. Is the nav by any chance full width? No, it is not. Let's just test this. If I make it... Yeah. What is this? I have to make this... All of these. I have to make all of these full width to get the effect that I want. Ugh. That's annoying. Alright, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to abandon the menu for now. I want to put this back outside. How did I do that? Oh boy. There we go. Save that. And we're going to start to build some stuff on the home page. We got a menu. We got a mobile menu. They're close-ish to what we want. Ish. I'll make this button blue. That'll be the last thing I do on the menu. All right, let's get out of here. Home page, edit. So, my first concern already is how do I make home Ollie go away? So it's a template thing. Index. What is all that? Post, search results, pages. Is it the pages template that's being used? Wow, take longer to install, please. Template canvas, that does not help me. Ollie comes with page, full width and title. Just change the page template for the home page On the home page, edit screen. Oh, like old school theme development. Excuse me. Okay. So we just want to use this. Save. All right. And then what? Whatever I put in here shows up here. Okay. Cool. We have, where is our example? Meet WordPress, some text, this random image. I should have all these images on the site already from the last time I built it. So we're trying to use Ollie, right? So should I be searching for patterns? Ollie patterns? Is that a thing here? I don't see. I wish I knew. No, these are not. I asked earlier if these were Ollie things, this little purple thing. They're not. So how do I actually use Ollie? How do I know I'm using Ollie? I would have expected there to be like a Ollie section here, unless they're just trying to seamlessly include all of their patterns with the regular patterns that are already there. But given that there's only 10 items here, I don't think that's what's going on. Ollie Pro patterns are in some Ollie pattern block. Is it still saying sign in? Does it not? Did it sign me out? Bro. Still just 10 items. Nothing here seems to have changed. After logging back into Ollie, after being logged out for no apparent reason. Blocks? Do they just have a bunch of blocks? What's going on here? Ollie pattern library is a block. Please navigate. Are you kidding me right now? Is this a joke? You guys did see me sign in literally seconds ago, right? Appearance, Ollie. Well, this isn't going to work, Mike. If this isn't going to keep me signed in and I can't access anything, this isn't going to work. Yeah, it's a magic area and it's lost all of its magic. Let's try this again. Hey, Ollie Pro patterns. You just have to log in 3 times and then you have access to them. All right, go away. And how do I bring this up? When I want to bring it up, I click on this button. Okay, so if I want to add an Ollie thing, I first have to add this Ollie pattern library block, I think, and then I can choose one of their patterns. None of which are going to look like what I want probably, but I can see a couple of them do look somewhat similar. How many are there? 210. Oh. Yeah, I'm just going to pick this and delete some stuff. Insert pattern. Let's just do it. And then delete 90% of it. Holy cow. I didn't want an entire page. Just wanted that top part because it kind of looked similar to what I want. Uh-oh. Did I delete? Yeah, I deleted the one I wanted to keep. Here we go. So this is the one that kind of looks a little bit like what I'm going for. I'm gonna get rid of these buttons. Replace this image with this weird blue paint swatch thingy. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Where's my... What is a cover? Image column, cover. Content width, fixed background, left 50, top 50. Portrait, original. Hey! Closer. That is closer. It still has... Okay, can we get rid of this? There's a height. There's a height being applied to this. Radius, border. Well, let's see what it looks like on the front end, because earlier we had a little discrepancy. So let's just see. Yeah, that's not what we want. It's being cut off. What if... Where'd we go? What? What if... Well, now it looks different again already. Like, what? All right. First of all, I did delete that paragraph. I know that for sure. And then that... Okay. You know what? I don't know what a cover is. I also don't know where that image went that I just dropped in there. We're just going to do an image instead of whatever that was. See if that looks any better. It already looks better. Okay. Where is my WordPress.org? Save. All right, that's something. That is something, y'all. The font is correct, but we gotta fix the size and weight and color. So we got 70 pixels, 430s for RGB. I guess we'll just choose extra large. Color was RGB and already forgot 30s. Set these. Yeah. And then how do I change the font weight? Typography, text, is it in here? No, that's just color. Advanced, border dimensions. What's this? No, nothing there. Aha. Size, font, appearance. Here we go. What's 400? That's just regular, right? All right, that looks closer, I think. Let's go take a look. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty much the same exact size, color, weight, and all that stuff. This needs to be a little smaller. What do we got? 16 and 400. Small. And then appearance, regular. That looks closer. Yeah. Let's get the color right. All right, that looks pretty good. This needs less padding, I believe. Margin, block spacing. Is that what we want? Block spacing? Is that the padding? Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Oh, here's padding. All right. Close-ish. Close-ish. That's my motto. Give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. So next section is this should be easy. It's just 3 columns. Should be easy. We'll pick a pattern that kind of looks like it and then spend 20 minutes customizing it because that's how you build websites in WordPress. So, all right. Ollie pattern library. Pattern categories. What are we looking for? Like row or columns? Is that a thing? Cards, kind of. Are we looking at cards? No, I need an actual grid to put cards into. Services. Here's 3 columns. Here's 3 columns. What are okay. Studio. Any 3 column. What do we got? Just an image and then some text. Image heading text. Image heading text. Pretty standard. Pretty boring. And I don't see an example of that. Oh, oh, this is pretty darn close right here. Okay. Delete. Delete. Image, heading, heading, text. I say heading, but I think it's it's the same inter font as regular text. So it's not the same text as actual headings. This has some interesting heading. So this is an H1. Oh, this doesn't tell me. This doesn't tell me that. Yeah, this is an H1. These are H2s. This is an H2. This is an H2. The whole thing is just a bunch of H2s with like 4 different styles. That's an H2. That's an H2. Kind of nuts. Kind of nuts. Anywho, what was I doing? I should already have these images, so let's go ahead and swap those out. The first one is this guy right here. This one is right here. This one has the yellow flower. Here we go. Got the images. I'm going to bring this over here so I don't have to keep switching back and forth. Okay. All right. Not terrible. What do we got? We got this grayish background, which we already have. I swear this color palette that Ollie put in there, I swear it's just the WordPress.org color palette. So I'm pretty sure that gray is the same gray I need right here. And if it's not, it's close enough for government work, so I'm going to leave it. Oh, what's going on in chat? I think I see the issue here. Ollie is marketed toward non-devs, yeah, with these pre-built patterns and stuff, but Gutenberg isn't really friendly to the same people. Yeah, I agree with that. I get so mad when people talk about how, and I used to say this because I was drinking the Kool-Aid and I had to think this, I think. I was working as a product owner for several popular WordPress plugins, and also as a person who builds websites for clients using WordPress, I sort of just had to think that WordPress was easy to use. And I convinced myself that it was easy to use. And the more I think about it, you know, I just try to sit here and imagine somebody who's not very tech savvy, you know, and they started a business. Maybe they start a car repair business, whatever. They need a website. And I'm just like, is that person going to build a good looking, effective website using WordPress? And I think the answer is no, they're not. There's so many technical barriers just getting to the point where we're at, where we're actually building, just getting, unless you go to WordPress.com, which even then, that's kind of a nightmare. It takes a lot just to get to the point where you're building a website. And if you're not tech savvy and you need a form, you don't know what to do. You do a Google search, how do I add a form to a website? And it says add a plugin. You're like, oh, okay, how do I do that? I mean, it's just so, it's not user friendly. And I finally, probably 2 years ago, I was still working for that company, and I was starting to come around to this idea that WordPress isn't as user friendly as a lot of people would have you believe it is. And started watching some of Kevin's videos, and I just finally like I weaned myself off the Kool-Aid, and it's just I still like WordPress because I'm not a layperson who doesn't know what I'm doing, but I'm no longer trying to convince anybody that a random layperson is going to jump in here and build a website. I don't care what Elementor, Divi, Ollie, I don't care what they say, what they think. It's just not happening. It's not a thing that's happening. Um, yeah, so someone would buy Ollie and not really know where to go from there. Agreed. As you can see, I don't know what I'm doing. You have to already be familiar with full site editing to even know how to use Ollie. So it's not like Ollie is coming in here and fixing that problem where FSE is confusing for new people. It's not fixing that problem at all. It's just leaning into full site editing. So if you don't know how full site editing works, you don't know how Ollie works. And even if you do know how full site editing works, there's still a couple little things you got to figure out. Like I thought that was kind of interesting how to add an Ollie pattern, I have to first add the Ollie block, and then within that block, I search through the patterns. I would have expected their patterns to just sort of exist with all the other patterns, or maybe I would expect there to be a section in here called Ollie. I click on that and I can see there. So, I mean, that was something that was unexpected for me, and I've been using WordPress for a long, long time. So, yeah. In summary, I agree with what you just said. What are we doing? We got text. I don't know how much effort I want to put into making everything pixel perfect with regards to text and whatnot, but I suppose I could put a little effort. For instance, these are headings, and so it's automatically getting that Garamond font, but we need to change it to Enter. I'm assuming this is easy to override. Typography, font, Enter. Yep, okay, that's good. It's easy to override. I'll take it. H3, theirs were H2s. I don't really care for this purpose. Just knowing that you can change it is enough. You can change that. The font size, I think they were smaller than this, so we'll just set them all to base. Can I select multiple things? You know, it'd be nice if I could select like multiple paragraphs and then not have to do this for each one. Save that, take a look. What do we got? That looks pretty darn good. Here's what theirs looks like. Here's what ours looks like. Their links are blue. I don't know how to change that. Oh, I think I do. Wasn't that an option in here? Links. Da, 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 da. Appearance, default. Nope. Font size. Ah, no color. No color. Shucks. Is that somewhere else? Styles, colors, link. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We may have figured it out. There we go. Not bad, not bad. I agree, Amore. It does take a lot of clicks to do anything. Calling it click fatigue. I don't know if I've heard that somewhere or not, but my little clicker finger here is getting a workout. Let me guess. Oh, it actually is already mobile responsive. All right. Not bad. I'll take it. That's going to change my menu links. Doesn't look like it did. I think we're okay. Kind of weird that it isn't though. Is that just a separate thing? Links, heading, navigation. Oh, that is interesting. I would have expected it to change my menu links. I guess you have to do that specifically while you're editing the menu, which is almost kind of annoying. It should inherit whatever your global settings are, and then you can override it if you want to. Anywho, in this particular case, it works out in my favor, so I'm just going to run with it. This is looking pretty decent. What's next? That weird section? Nope. This is very similar to this. It just has a button on it. So instead of... Oh boy, how do I get out of here? Get me out of here. Edit page. I'm going to just copy this whole shebang, duplicate, bring it down here. Yeah. This is much, much smaller. Not that small. Yeah, about that. And then, can I just copy? Oh no, that button was in the header. What is this? Oh, I think these are components I created in Etch earlier when I built this whole site using Etch. I think that's what these little purple thingies are. We're just going to use this. What does the button say? Discover WordPress 6.8. Blue. Save. That looks pretty good. That is, let's see what they did. So on mobile, their button is full width. I don't know how to do that. How do I do mobile stuff in Gutenberg? Radius border. Justification, advanced. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. It's not, it can't be as easy as just doing this and then modifying it, right? That's not with 100%. Now what if I go back to desktop? Nope, it's 100% everywhere. So I don't know. I don't know how to do mobile stuff in Gutenberg. So far everything's been pretty responsive, so that's nice. However, in this case, their button goes to 100% width on mobile. And I don't know how to do that. If anybody wants to chime in and let me know how the heck to do that, I'll take it. Otherwise, it would be custom CSS. Next section. What do we got? I think we might be getting to... Nope. Still got this section. All right. How much you want to bet that there's a pattern in the Ollie library that looks just like this? My guess is it's pretty unlikely. But let's see what we got. We need basically heading text, image, button. Heading text, button, image. Heading text, heading text. There's heading, text, white space buttons with an image over here. Some of these are, okay, actually probably want to do this and just add buttons to the end of it, or add a button. Yeah, we're going to do this and modify it heavily, of course, because we need a bunch of images and they need to be small. So I'm guessing what I want to do is drop a, is it a group again or column? See, I don't know what the difference is. We have a grid, arrange blocks in a grid. We have a row. We have columns. We have a group. Kind of, I mean, I'm going to try grid because that's, in, if I was building a website, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to add a grid of images. Can I choose the number of columns? Grid item. Oh, here we go. Interesting. All right, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this is going to be a lot of clicks. You're about to witness a lot of clicks, y'all. Why is this so narrow? Oh, because this is a problem. This is why it's probably just easier to just build it from scratch. Not even. So where's this width coming from? Content width. This seems to be blank. What's under styles? Anything useful? What is determining the width of this thing? What do we got? Okay, so first of all, it's not supposed to be inside that. So get out of there. Does that help? No, but still this width. Huh. What's this? Align. Wide width. Okay, okay. That's better. Not sure it's perfect, but it's better. Okay, this one is NASA. And then we got click, click, clickety, click, click. Microsoft, click, click. Click, 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 clickety, click. TechCrunch. One more flurry of clicks. Click, 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 click. Harvard, click, click. Okay. Actually, I'm discovering that I want this to be full width, not just wide width. Okay. So everything is inside this container, which is nice. For some reason, these, even though this thing is full width, these are not. So let's see, how do I... Yeah. Image card is full width. Does it have a bunch of padding? No. Huh. What happens if I just drop a paragraph down in here? Oh, but still hitting that. Still this narrow width, even though the container is a full width. Because it's a group. What if I make it... Okay. Okay. And then this grid, everything needs to be aligned. I'm assuming that's in here somewhere. Really? It's a grid. Oh, hey, a breakpoint. Interesting. It's a grid, but I can't choose align items, justify content, any of that. Okay. Can't, apparently I can't align all these images. Can I do it individually? No, doesn't seem that I can do it individually. Yeah, that is wild. Is it actually CSS grid? Yeah. Does grid have the same... Yeah, line item center, that's what I need. They don't all appear to be centered within their... So that's something I need to do probably. Come on. Yeah. It's a little custom CSS, not too bad I suppose, but just kind of weird. If you're going to give me an element called a grid, give me basic grid styles. What's up, Devin? How long you been there? I am currently rebuilding a website for funsies. I'm rebuilding, where is it? This, wordpress.org. And I'm doing it with a builder for WordPress called Ollie, which is a full site editor, block editor theme thingy. Currently complaining about the fact that I have no controls over this grid. I added a grid element. It's called grid, but unless I'm blind, I have no grid controls over it. So I have to use custom CSS. Let's call this stupid grid. Did it put it on the right? Okay, it did at least do that. Align item center. Yep. And then I can't nest here, but I can do dot stupid grid figure text align center. What sliders? This slider chooses the number of columns. I don't know if you saw some other sliders. Yeah, there's padding and margin, but I want grid controls like align item center. That's what I want. All right, where do I even put, where's the best place to put custom CSS on full site editor? Is there a place in here somewhere? Appearance, editor, templates? No. Styles, layout? Huh. So I guess I need a plugin to add some custom CSS. Can't add CSS with this plugin unless I use Pro, so whatever. At least you saw how to do it. It's just a simple matter of adding align item center to this grid, and then giving the figures a text align of center, and then they all aligned up nice. Let's give this background. Let's take off this border radius and the border, and let's make the background. Does that look right? No, it's like a darker. Is it this one? I'm not sure that's it, but it's close enough. And then what are we doing? Get rid of this image. Add a button. Explore the showcase, it says. Blue. And their corners are sharper than that. Call it 3 pixels. Okay, so first of all, these images are way too big. I'm not sure what's the best way to fix that. Height. Fixed height. Of what? The whole grid itself? It doesn't seem to be doing anything. It is, but it's not. Yeah, can't go any less than that. I could give the images a specific width or height. Ugh, that's annoying. I also don't even see the option to do that. Radius, aspect ratio. Yeah, I don't know. Again, custom CSS, I guess, is the best way to make those smaller. So I would probably do, added my class up here, stupid grid, figure, image, max height. no, I can't do that. I have to do with auto, right? Yeah. That only seemed to have affected one of my images. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't. How are they doing it? Because I just downloaded these images straight from them, so they are. Looks like they're just adding a custom width and height to each one to make it look good. Which I can't even do unless I'm just not seeing it. There doesn't seem to be an option to just give it a height and a width. Why would anybody ever want to add a height and a width to a thing? So we're going to leave that alone, I guess. We're going to call this section, we're going to call it good. Where's our actual website? Oh, let's get the right text in there. And then it looks like this is about the same. Nope, it's size large. I think this is probably small. That's good. We need a little bit more padding. And then I think we'll call this section good. Goodish. I can do padding, right? That's the thing I can do? Okay, just a little bit more like that, I think. All right, next section is this grid. It looks like a grid of images. If you were here in the beginning, I revealed that it's actually not. It's just 3 images stacked on top of each other. So this is an image. This middle part is an image. That part's an image. And it's the same background as this. So I might just throw it in the same section, actually. Come down here, throw in an image. And it's this one. This image has a width and a height. This image does not. Anybody want to take a guess as to why? Once you put it in the grid, you lose the ability to change its width and height. Okay, moving on. This width needs to be 100%. But I don't have that option. I only have pixels, so anybody still there that wants to help me out? What does this do? Can I, oh, hold on here. Okay, so now my only problem is the padding, so I probably do have to put this in its own section, actually. I think I'm going to duplicate this and then just delete everything in here. Except for the image. And then I'll take the padding down to 0 because I need this image to go all the way. And then duplicate. Duplicate. Okay. We do need a little bit of a gap in there. That looks like too much. I don't know how to change that. Justification. There's padding, block spacing. Okay, block spacing is what I want. There we go, just a little bit. Save. Oh, I need to delete that extra one up here. Okay. I don't know how to get rid of that gap there. It's also not going full width. Even though it looked like it was. Stretch items. Is that what I want? Stack. Huh. I don't know. Resolution, full size. I don't think that's going to help. The width. I don't. Why do I not have 100% or 100 viewport width or 100 anything other than just pixels? Why is that my only option? Why is that working? What did I do? I just deleted it, so then it made it full width by default. Is that what's going on? That's not what's going on here. What's different? Okay, full size. Okay. All right. I think that's what we want. Yep. Fully stretched all the way across. Oh man, oh man. No, I tried that. Can't do that. That's what you should be able to do. That's what you can do in every other builder in the known universe. But here, clicking on pixels does not allow you to change it. Even though it's blue, so it kind of looks clickable, it kind of stands out like, hey, click on me. Nah, can't do it. It's just wild. It's just wild, the things that you can't do in this builder. All right, what is this? Is this an image? Please tell me it's not a grid of dots and that it's just one nice big image. Let's see, did I already add that? I definitely know I'm not doing this right. Like these are groups up here. These are what, rows? What is this? A stack? We got this random paragraph down here and get rid of that. Does Gutenberg have sections? That's probably what a group is, right? I guess I'll add a group. Let's see, how did we make it go full width before? We turned it into a row. No. Align. Yeah, here we go, full width. Bro, I said full width. Full width, dude. How do I make... This is supposed to be inside the... Yeah. How do they do that though? So this is full width. If I do wide width, do I have to do a group inside a group? Oops, wrong thing. What if I drag a group in here and I make this group. Oh, see, I don't have the option to do full width or not. Let's see what it looks like. A group within a group. Does it just magically... It does not. Well, hey, this one's working. This one's doing exactly what I want it. How's that doing it? It's a group with a group. And none is selected. No. That's odd. That is odd. All right, what if I duplicate this? And then okay. Move this down here. Nope. It needs to be, well, I think we can fix that by going like this. There we go. That lines up. It's full width. And there's no gap between this. So that's looking pretty good. I need to remove a bunch of the space. There's almost no space here. Ton of space there. Not sure where that's coming from. Probably, oh, there's... One of these has a... They both, I think, have just a ton of padding. Let's bring that padding down. I just want to bring the padding... there we go. Bring this down. Bring this padding down as well. I think that looks closer to theirs. Yeah. And then... Okay, so for this... What is this? What is this? Oh, it's that. Okay. Then recent post that. I need to rename these something better. So for this, I'm going to try duplicating this. If I just did that. Width, height, auto. I don't have the option to choose like full size or original for some reason. Align, full width. Hey. Hey, I think this might be what we wanted. Let's look at theirs. It's pretty close. I'm going to add a little bit more padding. Otherwise, I think we got it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then this heading text with an image over here. We've done that a few times on this site. So which one should we copy? Heading text and then a link. So that's basically this section. Duplicate. Get so close. Look at that. All right, and then this, I'm just going to enter. All right. Let's see. Maybe we can find an Ollie pattern that looks similar to this. It's just 3 columns with a bit of text. So first things first, we add the Ollie block. Then we start to browse and change this to 100 like I do every time because it doesn't remember that I've chosen 100 for some reason. Simple 3 columns, simple 3 columns. Here's 3 simple columns. I think we're going to go with that one. Insert pattern. And delete everything. Delete that, delete that, delete that. Let's delete that. Whoa, buddy, whoa, what are you doing? Not trying to delete the whole thing. There we go, let's see. Delete that. Okay. I need to add a little heading inside here. Can I do that? Here's my columns. So if I just drop in a paragraph, and then go like this. Okay. Except I need it to be over here. How would I do that? Paragraph columns. Nope, this one needs to be full width. Justify items to the left. There we go. And this needs to be a heading. All right. Just undoing 99% of it, but somehow this is saving me so much time. These are posts, so I would normally loop through posts, but I don't want to create a bunch of posts. All right, see what this looks like. Uh, I have a problem. Don't understand how to do this. I did it somehow on accident with this. So I guess I'll do this again. Okay, that's closer, and then I think maybe all I have to do is say justify left. Nope, and it goes back to doing that. So this is perfectly centered, and this is not. It's not perfectly centered. Well, because it would need text align. Can I? Oh, this is so dumb. Can I just? All right, that's close. There must be some padding on these. Yeah, a whole bunch of padding. This drives me nuts. Oh, come on. I just took out all that padding. Did I not save? Oh, there it goes. All right. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I think I'm about done here. I've been at this for over 2 hours. Um, let's just see if we can poke around. I want to see if there's more to Ollie than just the pattern library. I'm using the theme, right? Yeah, I'm using the olive theme. I don't know what customize does. Yeah, it just brings you to here. So there's not much there. It creates a bunch of templates for you, but I don't think editing the templates is particularly special. I think I think Ollie is for the most part just a big old pattern library. Getting started is easy. 5,000 users. Seamless customization and stunning designs. Responsive type and spacing. Design faster with drag and drop. This doesn't seem like an Ollie feature. This seems like a Gutenberg feature. How much fun did I have? Very, very little. There were some moments of satisfaction where I finally figured out how to do something. I'm not sure if I would consider that having fun. Oh, Mike is a good dude. He just messaged me on Twitter and said, bro, what are you doing? I would have given you a license. Nah, it's okay, bro. I'll probably just gift it to somebody. I don't know if he's watching this or if he just saw on Twitter that I'm doing this, but I do appreciate that, and I want to let folks know that he did just offer to give me a license for this. Yeah, none of this is surprising. If you were here in the beginning of this, I did mention that I have never built a website with full site editing before, and that I'm not particularly crazy about Gutenberg. So I was not expecting to enjoy this a whole bunch. I will say that I don't think anything that I didn't enjoy was Ollie's fault. It's just the block editor. And that's you should know that going into it. If you like the block editor, then you absolutely should be looking at things like Cadence or Ollie. If you don't like the block editor, I don't think Cadence or Ollie are going to make you like the block editor. You're going to want to look for some other solution, like Etch, or if you prefer a page builder experience but you don't like the block editor, then you're going to look at things like Themify, Elementor, Divi. I will say that I do enjoy building websites in Etch. It brings me back to way back in the day, before I ever built any website that mattered. I would just screw around because I learned HTML, and I remember that being fun as a 12-year-old kid. Right clicking on a website, view source, see how the HTML is. Back then, HTML was a lot simpler, and right clicking and clicking view source was actually helpful, and you could actually figure out how HTML worked, and that was fun. And then building a website with Etch, it kind of brings me back to that I feel like I'm actually doing stuff and actually creating something. And then of course I've learned a ton since I was 12. I didn't know anything about CSS when I was 12, so the web design has come a long way in the past. I'm not going to say how many years it's been since I was 12, but so I do enjoy building a website with Etch, using HTML, using CSS, using JavaScript. Building loops is fun. I can't say that I enjoyed this at all. I do not like trying to build a website with the block editor. I don't like the fact that when I click on one image, I have the option to choose a height and a width. And when I click on another image, I don't have the option to choose a width and a height. I mean, just little stuff like that. Drives me bonkers. I don't want to use a slide ruler for padding. I just want to type in the padding that I want. I want to be able to use components, and I think you can do that in Gutenberg. I think you can add a, I don't even know if you can. If you create a component in Etch, I think it becomes a pattern, but I don't know if patterns, if there's a way to just in Gutenberg add a component, and then if you add that same component to 5 different pages and you edit it on one page, if it's going to edit that component on all the pages like an actual component. I don't know if that's possible in Gutenberg. If it's not, that's a problem. I did not enjoy building a menu with the block editor. I don't know how I would put the hover effect on these things. If you remember WordPress.org's website, when you hover, you get this gray background, and it happens on this as well. So I don't know how to do that in Gutenberg without just custom CSS. So if I'm going to be doing that much custom CSS anyways, I would much rather just do it all from scratch the proper way from the beginning, rather than this hacky thing of doing some of it with the builder and then trying to fix it with CSS. So yeah, I will say that these patterns from Ollie, they do look beautiful. I wish I was a designer. I'm not a designer. I'm completely dependent on designers designing things for me, and then I like to take that and turn it into a website, but I myself cannot design anything. So kudos to whoever is designing these patterns. It'd be really cool if whoever is designing these patterns for Ollie, it'd be fun if you created some components for Etch. I don't see that happening, but you know, it would be fun. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. TLDR, I still don't like Gutenberg. Ollie did not make me like Gutenberg. I think I like Ollie if I was into using full site editor. I've played around with Cadence before in the past. I think I would probably use Ollie if I was, like, if somebody told me that I had to build a website with a full site editor and I didn't have a designer available, I would probably use Ollie and build a whole site with some of their patterns. But I'm definitely going back to Etch after this video is over. So again, if you want to check out Ollie, you can go to OllieWP.com and follow Mike. I'll find him here on Twitter so you can see who he is. Mike McCallister. It's just at Mike McCallister. He is the guy behind Ollie. So follow him, because even if you're not interested in Ollie, he's very involved in the WordPress community. He's very involved in WordPress core. A lot of what you saw might actually end up in WordPress core, I've been hearing. The menu builder possibly, and some other stuff. So if you're interested at all in WordPress and where WordPress is going, give Mike a follow. Thanks for coming to my video, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.